We are here, John Blaze, talking to town, heavy duty core DJs, ikonradio, the home of quality independent music. Be sure to download the app. It's free for iPhone, Android, or check us out or visit us at ikonradio.com. Big shout out to Respect the Underground, Southwest Alliance core DJs. A lot going on. Tap in with us. I got a very special guest in the building right now. Big Doobie, what's up, my brother?
What up, though?
What's cracking?
Man, everything, man.
Yeah, a lot shaking and moving right now. We officially out of COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing.
Yes, sir.
Man, how was that for you?
Man, COVID was all right for me. You know what I mean? Like, I grinded through the whole COVID. I was able to, run the bag back up for the money that I had spent on this music shit before COVID. So I was able to stack. I stayed busy. I dropped my mixtape during the COVID.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I dropped in May. So, just navigating and learning, it really helped me to learn about my digital footprint. You know what I mean? Like establishing my social medias. Yeah. Interacting with my fans or whatnot. Like,
it's all stuff you're learning along the way too. But like, I mean, for a lot of us in this new era of entertainment and social media, and especially as independent artists, we do everything ourselves. So, you're learning as you go. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't make the best decisions, but you learn.
Living, you learn.
You
man.
know what I'm saying? But you're one who is very, you realize the importance of the push and the grind and the investment. Speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like, I coming into the game, I was a novice. You know what I mean? So I just started my rap career in December of 2019. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I might have been rapping years before, but never seriously, never knew what it took to really become an artist. I was just a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a rapper, nigga.
What do you feel the difference is, though? Because I feel like, I think we know, but, a lot of other people are going to see this, and they may not know the difference.
Your investment. 100% what you putting into this music in regards to what you expect to get back out of it. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, it take money to make money, and that stands very firm in this music business. A lot of these artists feel like, based on their talent or based on who they think they know, that they just automatically gonna blow. But that's a pipe dream, buddy. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you have to invest in yourself in order for people who have already invested in themselves and reached the level that you're trying to reach to even take you serious. They need to see that you are investing in yourself, that you are taking. That's the difference between a rapper and an artist. That an artist is taking this serious. This is his craft. He's investing his time, his money, his energy.
Absolutely.
Everything that he got into this music, you know what I mean, with the expectation that it's going to give it back to him.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad that you said that. That was very important. We're going to run that back and you know what I'm saying, and educate a few. Yo, so what made you go, like, what was it? What was the what do you remember when you decided to go from a rapper to an artist, though?
Man, like I remember just sitting back, like, all my team, my circle, the guys that I run with over the years, like, I had the same people around me since pretty much I moved here back in 2000, you know what I mean? Right. So, these people that have always known that I had the talent to be a great artist, but they knew that I was too distracted with other things. So I had reached a point where it's like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Like, time is not waiting for me. So I'm either about to take this money I got and buy me some Chick-fil-A's, some restaurants or something, a couple Burger Kings or something, or I'm about to start investing in this music. And I just knew that if I did anything else, I would feel unfulfilled. You know what I mean? Because in my mind and my heart, I feel like I was made to do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is the gift that God gave me. So I'm never going to be blessed the way that I really want to be unless I get his gift out. You know what I mean? So,
no, absolutely, man. I definitely feel that. Who inspired you, though, bro?
Man, my inspiration is,
because you're from Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your inspirations coming up?
It wasn't be like like Pac, for sure. He's like my number one. Pac is the GOAT. Yuckmouth.
Okay.
E40. DMX. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Right.
Let's see here. Then even later on, the whole No Limit, the whole Cash Money, the Jeezys, the Tips, you know what I mean, the Ludacris's, the Gucci Manes, you know what I'm talking about? Like, though that was my inspiration. Like,
Yeah. So you remember seeing like the marketing and the push when those artists in that era came out, you know what I'm saying? We had the magazines and you know what I'm saying? And I know in Detroit too, you know, they were heavy in the streets with, you know, the rappers from the city as well. So there was constant marketing all the time, popping the trunk with the CDs,
Absolutely.
like the whole nine, right?
Absolutely. That was the hustle. That's what I like where I stayed in Detroit, 2 doors down from like the most popular clothing store in Detroit. When every famous artist come to Detroit, they go shop at Strictly Sportswear.
Right.
So as a little kid, I was able to see Master P come shut down 7 Mile with, you know, stretch Hummers, and that's the first time I ever seen like a cat-eye Hummer. Like, what kind of face is that on that truck? You know what I mean? Like, I used to just be so amazed. And I had a cousin that worked there, so he would always come back and show me, like, yeah, I took a picture with Master P today. You know?
Yeah.
It used to just spark something inside of me, like, man, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's what you want to do.
Like,
that's dope, man. That's really dope.
yeah, man.
P was moving around everywhere.
Oh yeah.
During that time too.
Oh yeah. P, you know, he was definitely in Detroit. You know, a lot of them artists though, like BG, he stayed in Detroit for 100 years. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up seeing this kind of activity too. Like, and it's like the Detroit artists. It wasn't. Our music scene wasn't as big as it is now, like in the 90s. You know what I'm talking about?
I was gonna say today, Detroit has a major influence on the music and the sound right now, man. It's to me, like, I feel like it's very influenced by West Coast too, but it has their own sound, and it's influential right now in today's hip hop scene too.
Yeah, more like Bay Area, like, but
yeah.
I feel like it's not nowhere else really in the world like Detroit more than like Oakland. You know what I mean? Like
everybody from Oakland right now is like, yeah.
In real life, like me traveling, going to all these different cities and states.
What's one thing that separates Detroit from, like, you couldn't go anywhere except Detroit and see this? What would that be?
I would say like I want to, as much as I want to say something positive, like, you can't really go nowhere else in America and see as many burnt up buildings and just you'll go down a city block and where it used to be 14 houses, it's only 3 now. They done burnt them up and torn them down, and it's big, huge, empty lots everywhere. We still have buildings burnt downtown from the riots in the 60s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, just to think about, like, imagine Arizona having a burnt up building downtown Phoenix from the 60s. Like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, right. You
that's
know what
crazy.
I mean? Like, yeah, right. You know, like, it's crazy out there. You know what I mean? Like,
and you know, that definitely has the impact on the community growing, especially for the youth when they grow up and just see that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know no other else. You know what I mean? So that definitely, I think it definitely affects anybody seeing that for years on end, and then obviously getting out and seeing something else.
That was me.
Yeah.
That's me in the year 2000. Like, I came out here, my aunt and uncle have a church out here, a big church. So my dad sent me and my brother and sister out here on some summer vacay. Let's show them something different.
Right.
I was headed nowhere fast. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I was a typical Detroit teenager. You know what I'm talking about? Doing everything in the streets that I wanted to do. And my pops just wasn't having it. He's like, man, let's go out here and see what this Arizona talking about. And when, like you said, coming out here and seeing something different, I didn't know nothing but Detroit. I never had even seen Mexican kids or white kids. Or I never had even been close enough to engage in a conversation with nothing.
Right.
Like, I had a couple white
culture
teachers.
shock.
100%.
Yeah.
But me being the type of kid that I was always eager to learn. You know what I mean? Like, I even tell my kids now, like, when I was your age, we didn't have no computer. Like, I read everything. You know what I mean? Like, I go anywhere I'm at. I go use the bathroom. I gotta have a book. I'm being here reading the labels off of every bottle in the bath. Like, I'm reading everything. Like, I always wanted to learn. Like, I always wanted to, you know what I mean, advance. I always wanted to be the smartest. You know what I mean? So coming out here and just experiencing this it was no turning back for me. You
That's
know what
love,
I mean?
man.
Like,
That's love. All right, so check this out. We got Big Doobie here. Let's play something off the D to AZ, right?
all right.
Let's do that snap and joint. You heard it right here. Being in rotation on Icon Radio. Big Doobie is here. We're going to be right back. We can talk about the new single, RNL. Stay tuned. John Blaze, here we go.
I'm snapping. I told these niggas I was snapping.
Back again, Icon Radio, home of quality independent music. I got my guy Big Doobie, Big Doobie in the building.
Yes, sir, Ski.
All right, so we're gonna talk about this new single right here, man. R&L produced by Novthezoner.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? And for those who know, you know, this as soon as I heard the sample come on, see the thing is, dude, I heard this before you got on, and I heard this beat, and I was like, whoa. Nope sent me this, and I'm like, okay, this is something serious.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm like, man, whoever gets on this is gonna be special. And then a few months later, I hear you on it, and man, you did this thing justice. Salute, R&L, man. Give me the you know, there's a lot behind this record, but go ahead and talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, man. R&L, shout out Novthezoner, man. Like I cook the best with Nov, so that sample, that, you know, however do you want it sample.
Soul to Soul.
Yeah, Soul to Soul. Shout out Soul to Soul. You know, as a kid, I heard that on Belly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would hear it on the radio, but the Belly version was so different. I used to, you know, it used to spark a freestyle in me every time I watched the movie during that intro. So I told Nov, like, man, this song been stuck in my head for, what, like 15 years, however long that movie then came out. I need this in a beat. You know what I mean? Like, I need it. He like, say less. Like, you know, the mad scientist, so you know what
really
I mean.
is.
Like I tell him I want this song. You know, I ain't got to tell him no part, no nothing. He gonna figure it out and make it the dope. It's like like he in my head. You know what I mean. So
I feel like you had something just stashed away, and you were waiting for the right record. And I think this was it.
yeah, man. Like I've been recorded R&L. I wasn't gonna release it, you know what I mean? Like, because as you know, like from my previous music, I had never even jumped in this kind of bag before. But I knew that I could, you know what I mean? And what sparked it is the real situation that I'm talking about, you know what I mean? In the song, like me dealing with things with females, like I'm like, all right, let me put this on wax. Like, you know, all my music is about me. All my music is like my life and things I done been through. So
Right.
I'm like, I shouldn't make this no different. Let me,
Facts.
you know what I mean? Like, so let me pour this out on here. But I had felt so vulnerable making that song, I ain't want nobody to hear it. You know what I mean? Like,
Really?
I was like, man, this is in a vault. You know what I mean? I had locked it up, boop, put it in the vault.
Was it because of the story? It was too close for home.
Too much.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I ain't want to be getting no, oh yeah, you're talking about, yeah. I ain't want none of that. So I'm just like, man, I don't want to put this song out. I'm gonna put this away. And then shout out bobbydenims. We was chopping it up, listening to some music, and she heard it, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh yeah, she like, bro, what is that? I'm like, oh yeah, that's R&L, but she like, no nigga, that's your hit, you know what I mean? Like, that's a hit right there, dude. I'm telling you, you gotta put that out, that's a hit. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew females was gonna like the song, you know, so, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I really was kind of testing it to see, you know what I mean? Like, let's get a female's perspective on how she feel about the song.
Yeah.
So she dug it, and then I got with a group of my guys and finally let them hear it, you know what I mean? Like, and they went crazy, you know what I mean? He like, you know, my dude, like, bro, you giving me goosebumps over here. Like, this the one. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Like the way Nov did the record, the sample is so classic, but also like you can't just use that sample and rap on it. Like you have to use it correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And you did that with the story. You know what I'm saying? You're a really good storyteller, and the way you delivered it, it kept you throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely are excited to have this in rotation. And the video, man, you know, tells a story too, right?
Yeah, man. That's just the modern day Bonnie and Clyde, which is basically, you know what I mean, like a female dealing with a real nigga. In my perspective, that's in some shape, form, or fashion, that's what y'all got to be. It's y'all against the world. You know what I mean? Whether y'all building an empire, whether y'all in the streets, whether y'all whatever it is y'all doing, it's y'all against the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how I approach every relationship. You know what I mean? If I'm in a relationship with you, it's us. You know what I mean? Like, it's us to the world blow. I'm gonna make sure you good as long as you make sure I'm good.
Right.
That's
Facts.
you know what I mean? I don't do the half stepping. You know what I'm talking about?
No, it definitely is, man. It's kind of like, you know, like you said, the Bonnie and Clyde thing, man. I feel like a lot of that in hip hop has gone away. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think this record was kind of refreshing, because it's kind of getting back to the storytelling. You know what I'm saying? And as a big fella, you know what I'm saying? Hearing you, skate on this beat like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was another thing too, right?
Yeah, man.
Because it was a different type of sound.
Yeah, man. I was like, I'm gonna get in a whole different bag. Like, everybody used to hear me with that rah-rah. You know what I mean? Like, the whole D to AZ is a rah-rah. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I'm like, the first song I'm gonna do, I guess outside of from the D to AZ, I had some other single options, but I'm like, this gonna be it. Let me show them I can get in this different bag. Like, I ain't even began to tap into the bags that I can jump into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think that these type of records, or just kind of just maybe the point in life that you're in right now, or maybe your experiences have kind of changed you into progression as an artist?
Absolutely. Like, from the D to AZ is a lot of older songs that I wrote anyway. You know what I mean? Like, when I came home from jail and all of that, like, that's what all them stories is really about, what I went through, you know what I mean, leading up, going to jail, fighting my case, beating my case, you know what I mean, going to trial, all of that. Like, that's the whole from the D to AZ. You can pretty much learn everything that I went through, and that was, 2007 to like 2009, you know what I mean? Like, facing 54 years, you know what I'm talking about, sitting in the county jail, you know what I mean, fighting my case.
That's a damn blessing, man.
Yeah, man.
What's that like when you hear those type of numbers?
Bro, it's mind blowing. Like, it really tests your faith. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's what I look at it like. The way I was moving at the time, I felt like, and like I said, I always felt like I was destined to do great things with music. So I'm like, this is God's way of really showing me that what I think I need to be doing, what I think I'm being successful at, is not really that ain't the move. You know what I'm talking about? So but it wasn't no way that somebody was gonna be able to walk up and tell me that based on the level of success that I had reached doing what I was doing. So
that's all you knew at the time.
Yeah, that's all I knew. You know what I mean? And that's that was always been like my number one distraction from music. You know what I mean? Like, I can go in here and make this music. I'm gonna record these songs. Like, oh man, I can go out of town right quick and make this money. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm gonna put this music on the back burner and go get to this bag. So.
I want to know, how do you get your mind right too? Because you mentioned fighting cases, and I'm sure you had to fight a few, or you know what I'm saying, a lot.
Multiple. Yeah, it was a bunch of crazy.
How do you get your mind wrapped around the fact that you could possibly face those type of numbers? And yet still get yourself motivated and organized and patient enough to fight these cases? How do you do that with your mind?
You just got to really be strong. You know what I mean? It's going to take a lot of reflection. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be tested mentally. You're going to be tested physically, emotionally, spiritually. You're going to be tested. Like, I haven't never experienced nothing harder than that. You know what I mean? To this day, that's what, even now when I go through things, I never feel like defeat is going to be the answer, because I survived. I got through that. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, this ain't worse than that. So if I got through
this ain't shit,
I'm gonna get through it. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what it is, I'm gonna get through it, because I got through that. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
So
do you look at that as a blessing now?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it was because I just know that my trajectory was headed somewhere different. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have really been in there, or been even worse if I would have kept on what I was on. You know what I mean? So I had to go sit down and it humbled me. You know what I mean? Like, I was a knucklehead. You know what I mean? So it really humbled me. And I came home with a whole different energy. And as soon as I came home, I had my daughter. You know what I mean? So, I had that load ready to go. So I had my daughter, like, not even like a year after I got home. So that is another thing that boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's God showing me you home now. It's time for you to do things the right way. I'm gonna let you get this baby now. Relax, calm down, so you can get focused and get ready to do this music the right way. You know what I mean? We was doing the club promoting, me and my cousins, Mike and Dre Doobie. You know what I mean?
Okay, so those are your family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're my blood cousins, my first cousins. You know what I mean? So when the Doobie Boys started, it was me, Mike, and Drake. You know
That's what I thought, man, because I was working with them during that time too, and then I remember there was 3 of y'all, and then there was only 2.
yeah, because I had kind of fell back. You know what I'm talking about? Like, again, just not. I had my daughter, so this is my first baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ain't trying to be in the club, 4 times a week no more. I need to be making sure that this little girl is being raised as a queen. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Absolutely.
I ain't want to be one of them pops. So I fell back from the club, which it was cool. Like, we was on autopilot at that point. You know
Nah,
what
it
I'm
really
talking
was.
about?
It was.
Even now, my cousin still got the Sundays down in Scottsdale, the off the hook Sundays.
Yeah.
Dre still at it like a crack addict. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and he got the spots in Miami. You know, he moved to Miami.
They definitely changed the game. You know, they towards the end of, I remember Sugar Tuesdays at Next is when they first kind of came into the scene. It's kind of where I started at that time, and then from there,
Club PHX.
PHX came.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we moved over there with them, and shit. From then on, it was on popping.
Yeah, man. I remember like presidential inauguration was our first. We had like a
Yeah, the Barack. Yeah, I remember that shit. Me and Flavor were in there.
It was all the way. Like, shout out Flavor, man. That's my man's.
There's so much history just in the club scene, you know, in the hip hop scene. I know recently International closed down. You know, shout out to Freshmaker and Reflection and all those guys who you know been in there for years. But like the club scene is very important, and I preach this to a lot of the club DJs. Like, we need to break these records in the streets, in the club. You know what I'm saying? These local records, records from the city, from the region. How do you feel as an artist? You know what I'm saying? Like, this record you play in the club, and I know I would do it, but a lot of DJs wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I knew it's a different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like you can't really play this behind some, you know, Pooh Shiesty and all. Like, the club is hype. You know what I mean? Like, this more ground and sexy. You know what I'm talking about? So I understood that it ain't gonna be for you know what I mean? Like, every party this ain't gonna really be appropriate for. But you know, if you having some ground and sexy moments, this gonna be it. You know what I mean? Like, this gonna be the one. So
absolutely. You
know,
with the story, man. You know, and the story grimy too, man. So, you know, it's definitely on some shit. Go watch the video. It's a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Lonnie Lowe. Shout out Lonnie Lowe, man.
Lowe, what's up, my brother? So if this is the kickoff to a new lane in Doobie, you know what I'm saying, Big Doobie, what's next, man?
Man, we got some pressure on the way, man. Like, I got a new track with DJ Pest. That's a different bag too, man. It's a different kind of energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's an upbeat song, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm gonna let you listen to it too. But I'm excited about that track. We're gonna shoot a video for that soon. I got a couple little freestyles that I did that I'm about to release too. Over a couple of people beats, you know what I mean, just to put some little content out. So I'm gonna drop those.
I gotta get you on the Indie Icon.
Oh yeah,
we gotta make that happen.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Real quick.
You know I'm ready. You know I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, check this out, man. I appreciate you coming. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
the new single RNL is available everywhere. You can hear it on ikonradio, but you can also get it on all streaming platforms.
Yes, sir.
Where can people follow Big Doobie, man?
Man, the real Big Doobie _ on IG. My Facebook is Big Doobie. You know what I mean? Twitter is the real Big Doobie. You know what I mean? Tap in with the boy, man. All streaming platforms from the D to AZ and RNL streaming. New music on the way. You know what I mean? Stay tuned, man.
Yes, sir. Well, shit, without no further ado, man, I appreciate you for coming, but we got to get to the record.
Yes, sir.
And we can take some pictures and chop it up. But check this out. Big shout out to my guy, Big Doobie. I know you're going to be traveling soon. Be safe.
Yes, sir.
And we're going on from here, man.
All right.
Let's get to it. RNL, Big Doobie, ikonradio, let's go.